and gentlemen, I'm here live again, and another episode of Growth, right, where we interview young entrepreneurs and talk about their growth and development, and their process and their skills and what they do and how they give it out to the world, right? And so I'm here with my main man, Mr. Clinton Banks. Hey, Mr. Clinton Banks, I know you do a lot of different things, so tell me who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Clinton, and I am I'm a screen printer, a graphic designer, a customer service rep, a troubleshooter, and I have a company called Society Inc. And I've been working on it for almost 7 years now, and I started it on my own with less than $100, and it's grown into. I got like a small shop now, about 800 square feet, where I work and have an office and have an employee, and I'm still growing and still trying to mature.
Holy shit! So you had $100 in your pocket, and you're like, "Yeah, fuck it. Let me just make T-shirts now." Is that how they like all started or something? Or
Well, kind of close to that. It was back in 2015. Just got out of college, and I couldn't like Atlanta, Georgia, just didn't have like a background in what my degree was majored in, which was 3D art and design.
mm-hmm.
But I minored in graphic design, photography, and web design. So when I got out of college, I really couldn't even find a job, and it looked like I would have to go out west to get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if I wanted to further which I did, I wanted to get a job and further my degree. I would have spent a lot of money, with that out of state tuition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, if I'm gonna put myself in that much debt, I want to try out entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? I've always had a knack for it. I used to sell like the candy bars they would give us when we go to sell in like middle school and elementary school.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Hey kids, you want this candy bar? It's gonna help me do something, right? It's always something.
I used to sell them for double the price and keep the profit.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man! Instead of $1, here's $2.
Right. $2 for the candy. I keep $1 for myself. Sometimes I would eat the candy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you put in the work, right? That's like free labor with this candy company. I didn't think about that until later. I was like, what the heck?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah! So you gain a profit. That's what's up, man. And so that's what you do. You do 3D graphic designs and you print T-shirts and stuff like that, right? For Society Inc. Mm-hmm. And so I guess where you at located and everything?
So I'm in Marietta, Georgia, and right off of Shallowford Road. It's like in between Woodstock and like Marietta and Kennesaw. It's like on the border of all three. And yeah, that's where where my nest is, man.
It's the nesting ground, right?
The back cave.
In the back cave. That's where all the magic happens. The creative magic.
Mm-hmm.
And so so that's where you're located, and they can find you online and stuff like that. Like on Google, just type in like Society Inc., right? And then shit will pop up.
INK with a K, Society Inc.
Inc. with a K.
Not the tattoo shop. There's a tattoo shop in Florida. That's not me. I am the screen print shop, the T-shirt shop, the T-shirt man.
T-shirt man. Hey, yeah. Is that people know you like that? He's a T-shirt man?
No, screen print poppy.
Okay. It was different. All right.
Yeah,
I ain't the screen print man. I'm Poppy. All right.
Screen print poppy.
Get it right.
Talk to me. You got something you need done? Talk to me.
And so you said you've been working on this for like 5 years now, right? Or a little bit longer?
6 years going on 7.
6 years going on 7.
Yeah. And like I said, I started it in my homeboy's apartment. It's with graphic design, and for the first 8 months, I did graphic design work for free. I didn't want any money. I didn't care for it. I was just finding random clients, people who needed graphic work done. And then I started to notice a pattern, which was T-shirt designs. Just keep getting people who wanted shirt designs. And then the second question that came after I did the work was, where can I get this printed? And I'm just like, okay. So people were coming to me for T-shirt designs. And I also want to know where I get this printed. How can I turn this into something more. So that's how I got into like screen printing. Oh, and my first check I got wasn't a check, but I got a tip for $30. That's
Okay.
the first.
It was a tip.
Yeah, it was a tip. I was doing it for free.
That's it.
And this guy was like, man, like, I know you do this for free, but I really like your work. I appreciate you working with me. He was real picky, but you know what? We got the design done. It took up a lot of my time. But, you know what I'm saying? He gave me $30, you know. It's not much, but I was happy like that. It just meant a lot to me. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that seemed like it sparked something in you after that too. You know, like it's like, hell yeah, I get paid for this. Like,
yeah,
like good thing that you putting yourself out there for us. Like, I know, yeah, I've seen a lot of people. You know, they either don't want to put themselves out there, but putting themselves out there, it seems like it benefited you a lot.
True.
Getting to know a lot of people. So what's your background? Like, where do you come from? Because I know you didn't become just Clint Banks over here, the T-shirt Poppy, you know, overnight.
I beamed in.
Beamed in, Scotty.
They said that we have a mission for you, little one.
Right? Cinnamon, do it now. So what's your background usually? Like, where you from? You know, how you grow up? You know, all those different things.
So I was born in New York, Queens, New York, and my family lived in Queens. Well, we was born in Queens, then we moved to Long Island, then we moved back to Queens. But at the age of 6, we came down to Georgia. So I'm basically from Georgia.
So yeah,
Marietta, Georgia.
So New Yorker transplanting back and going to ATL. And do you feel like a lot of your work has been mostly inspired, say, from like New York background, or maybe like the ATL background, or maybe even a mix of both of them? How would you, I guess, describe maybe some of your work?
Well, I don't feel like I've spent enough time in New York to say that I've been inspired by the environment. But it's not like I was out on the streets or anything. It was more like I was like an introverted nerd who sat in the house and read manga and watched anime, and that's where like I got a lot of my inspiration.
Okay, so from manga, not the environment, but mostly of some of the things that you were introduced in, or some things that you liked.
Yeah, what got me into art was I saw this dude. I was like 7 years old, and he drew a Pikachu, and it was like on point. Like this kid was talented for 7 years old. It was like he had a photocopying machine hand.
Did you trace this?
Right, you know, but he drew it right in front of me. That was the crazy part, and I was just like, "There's no way you can like be that good," you know. And like he inspired me hardcore, and I hung out with that kid all that year, and he kind of taught me some tricks on how to draw. And I guess he moved at the end of that school year, and I never saw him again.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, "Man, did you ever see that kid? Did you ever thank him or anything?" Like, "Hey, man, thanks for."
I don't even remember his name. I just remember that Pikachu he drew, and I was always crafty with my hands from crib age, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always like to build and create. I don't know where it came from, but I knew like I was always going to be a creator. I was always going to create with my hand. Like this is like one of the first things.
It's like you already knew it, you know. Like I'm gonna be like some form of an artist or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it.
And it was just like taking the time to find that outlet, you know, and to do something fun and that I can, you know, turn into a living. So.
Is in and like so any of your like say like family or anything like that have you found like maybe some inspiration from them or anything like that, or you're just like, man, I'm the only creative one really?
My dad's a DJ, so
yeah,
he's like heavy into music, like Run DMC, Earth, Wind and Fire, Biggie. What's her name? Whoever her name, she had a child with Andre 3K. You remember her name?
Nah, I don't know.
Erykah Badu.
Oh yes.
There you go. You know who that is?
Yes, I know who that is.
Erykah Badu. So I could say I was like inspired by music because my dad always was like searching for like the latest and greatest, and I, trying to find ways to cut up tracks and stuff. Like that was like, I guess you said the first artistic expression I was exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sister got into like singing, and she's pretty good at it. Like she actually tried out for American Idol, but
Oh shit.
did not make it.
Oh dang, she didn't get the golden ticket.
She did not get the golden ticket.
Dang, but she made it on there. I guess it's just like
they had
audition.
They had like three auditions before it gets to the audition that goes on camera, and she made it to the last one, and they said no. Yeah.
So she was in front of the judges and everything, and so it's like, nah,
no,
not that.
A panel of three, and then you get the stage.
The actual.
With those judges.
Those judges like, yo, Randy Jackson didn't make it that didn't make it that one. But damn, she's a good singer then, huh?
Yeah, she's definitely good. She actually sang for I forgot what year it was, 2019. And she's in the Air Force. It was like a New England Patriots versus something. They were somewhere out there in England having a football game or something. She actually sang the national anthem. It's on YouTube.
Hey, look at that on YouTube. So dang, so
she's done it twice.
So you got some artistic talent in all your family. So dang, so
yeah, that's a little sign.
Get the flow going. So all right, that's what's up, man.
Nothing to brag about it.
And so, and then I know you're heavy. So I know you're heavy like in ATL and everything like that. So how does it feel like to I guess being out there, and how do you put yourself out there, I guess, to look for some of these opportunities?
Well, I started with the first guy I worked with, LaDon. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he really put me on. He was DJing and like hosting parties, and I would do a lot of free stuff for him for exchange of like a place to stay. So he would let me kick it at his crib, and as long as like it was like kept pumping out the designs, and then of course we figured out how to screen print. So we were like experimenting with his brand Ender at the time, and at every party he hosted, he always had this like, he said, "Come on, man, he loved my design." So every time he was out there hosting or on the set, he would shout me out like, "Yo, talk to my man's Clint," like and I was like really shy, and introverted, of course. So it was really hard to like not get anxiety and panic because I don't like too much attention, honestly, still to this day.
It's okay.
All right, yeah, it like makes me anxious when too many people look at me at once. I don't know, it's like an overload of energy that I get. I don't know how to. That's a whole nother story for
another. So he put you on. So obviously you were fucking good. I mean, you were exchanged and you were living in a place, actually had a roof over your head. So the work was good. And he definitely put you on a lot of different places, huh?
He did.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, I got to work with Lil Yachty before he blew up.
What?
Yeah. I worked with, of course, Nestle. Not people know who he is, underground guy, but we worked for a few years, some good things, and it's an amazing experience. Really.
Yeah, I think I was in your shop too, working on some things, and then they had some artists come in there too. I forget, there was some I forgot her name, but yeah,
Kiera, please.
Kiera, please, yeah.
She's a what you call it, cosplay model.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. You got all different types of walks of life coming in through there, so that's what's up. So I guess with the with that said, the anxiety and stuff like that. So how'd you end up like overcoming that kind of stuff? Because I know it's difficult. First thing to do, it's always the difficult part, to jump into it. But how did you, I guess, overcome that social anxiety?
I wouldn't say I've quite overcome it yet.
Right, because you said you still have it a little bit, right?
Right, just a little bit. So it's a work in progress, and like COVID didn't make it any better. That's my that's my zone. Like, stay home.
Oh
don't talk to nobody. Like I can do that all day.
Bet.
So, right, bet. Like that's a no brainer, So it's more or less like back in the day when I was more on it and more active. I would actually get high. I would just smoke a little bit, try to chill out, not like get too faded because I didn't want to be like airheaded.
Yeah.
But and just try to you know, just do my best to relax. You know, breathe. I know breathing helps a lot with anxiety, and LaDon and like people watching. I would literally just watch people and see how they interact and see how they talk to each other, and you know, seeing LaDon, you know, hosting and how comfortable he was, you know, just being on the stage and talking to people, you know, it was inspiring. So one of the reasons, you know, I hung out with him was because I wanted to gain that comfortableness. So I would ask him, like, you know, how do you do that? Like, how do you go out there and like don't freak out? Da, 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 da. So he gave me some tips, and it was nice.
It was helpful. Huh?
Yeah, it helped. And then, you know, with time I got better, you know, and I could stand in front of crowds of people and talk, not too big, you know. But now I think I've kind of got bad with it because COVID. I gotta get back out there.
You gotta retrain yourself again, right?
Right.
Heck yeah, dude. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna do something real fast. So let me see if I can.
People, my man went landscape mode.
That's way better, huh?
Yeah, I think that's landscape mode too.
Yeah. So that way we can.
People. I can't believe I done that.
Not so good. Oh, we were going good. It's all good. I'll just unplug it. I think it should be charged pretty good. Hail to the motherfucking Yeezy.
Hell no.
Till now. All right, how's that look? Good. All right, we're good.
Just bringing out my highlights.
It's look good, right? I'm like, damn, shit. Hell yeah. So we were talking about the social anxiety. You know, you were able to get through that shit and overcome that. But I guess, you know, by exposing yourself a little bit more and then asking, you know, other people for help. So what other people have, like, I guess, helped you? I know LaDon was one of them, but is there other people who, like, maybe influence you or maybe, like, mentor, things like that? Or do you seek out anything like that?
Yeah, I did at one point. I met a guy at a skate shop named Billy, and he let me get like this, like 2-floor skate shop across from that skate park in Akron. I think what it's called.
Oh yeah, I forget it too, but it's by Swift Control. I know that.
Yeah,
it's probably Swift,
yeah,
something like that.
just say the name, right? Say the name of the park.
Right there, dog.
Right. Yeah, and he had scooped his house up and turned it into like a skateboard shop across the street. And the city was mad at him for doing that because, you know, it's like a residential property and like not supposed to be doing business. But he finessed it.
He's like, no, this is my business.
Got away with it for a little bit. And but he had this press on top of the skate shop on the second floor of the house, and it was just sitting there. And that was like, I guess, my first time running my own orders on like a bigger press. It was ghetto as hell though. There's like no circulation, no AC.
The hot.
It was hot, you know. The press was all sorts of messed up. I had to go in there and like fix it and work on it. He's like, if you can get it working, you can use it. So that's what I did.
Got it working there.
Got it working.
That's what's up.
Maintenance the machine, and he would kind of like sometimes just send me orders or print some stuff for a skate shop, and that was a cool experience. And then I met this guy named Marty Carroll, and he's a cat, and he's a multimillionaire.
Dang.
Yeah, and
somebody good to know if you want to become a multimillionaire, I guess.
He owns a Bell's bombing company, two gun stores, and he's in real estate. And his wife owns a salon.
Dang, that's a good thing to invest in. It's like they ain't never going away.
Yeah, right. And he bought like 50 to 60 acres of land and built like a
holy shit.
Storage.
The storage units and stuff like that.
Yeah, business. Yeah. And like, yeah, he was on his stuff, and he had like this car shop, right? And he had it was like the first business he ever did that he started, and he had converted it to a screen print shop, and he was, long story short, he was looking for someone to run it,
Mm-hmm.
and he had like his brother-in-law try to run it, but paid him 2001, but he didn't do anything, he didn't know anything. And when I met him, I was just trying to like, he was selling used screen printing equipment, and he asked me what I did. And I was like, well, I have my own business, and he was just like, would you be interested in trying to like run a shop or something like that? He's like, I just want to see what you can do. And I said, sure, And I came in, he had like an eight color 8-station automatic. He had like 2 small presses. Like he just full decked out. Like
He had everything.
machine. Yeah. And I wasn't like I wasn't at that kind of level. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that type of clientele. But I was just like, I didn't know it was that big. So I was just like, okay, I'll just. Are you sure? Like, you want to do this? I want to see what you can do. So I spent like 3 months there. Brought my own work in, and he's like, if I could make a certain amount a month, he would partner up with me and like pay me, like and bring in like orders. He's a businessman, so he knows other business owners. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the cut, but he taught me, he gave me a lot of gems, a lot of knowledge. Like,
yeah, still learning through that process.
I learned, I would screen print, but I would also hang out with him, and he was constantly dropping gems. Yeah,
a little knowledge on that. It's like picking his brain a little bit and seeing what he does.
Him, and my neighbor when I used to live in Awkward, I had this neighbor named Rick. R.I.P. Passed away.
Waterproofing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you remember him?
Yeah, I remember him, man.
Yeah, he passed away.
R.I.P. for him.
Yeah.
Dang, that's wild.
Yeah, it is wild. Yeah, that he became a millionaire too. He bought into a franchise. And then like fucking
Blew up from there.
And then
I know he had all kinds of like toys over in his yard and stuff like that. It seemed like he was having fun.
Bro, he was loaded. He used to walk around with this tactical bag with a Kel-Tec pistol, one in the chamber. Kel-Tecs don't have the safety.
Yeah.
You just pull the trigger, shoot. Dang. Yeah, one in the head, and he kept no less than $5 grand. Fresh $5 grand stack in that fucking little bag. And I used to come over his house and like just help him with work. And he really put me on to entrepreneurship at a young age. Mm-hmm. Like I always had a drive. Like I always wanted to kind of work for myself. And he saw that, and he took me in like right around like 10th or 11th grade. And he was like, I like the drive and the interest you have. Because I was always asking him questions. I'm like, dang, he started roofing, then he was like power washing, and then like he got into mitigation, bought a franchise, all sorts of stuff. He had so many hustles. And he took me under his wing, and he would take me to different properties. And he paid me like an hourly wage to go in and help like do demolition at certain jobs he had. Like, so I would work with him during the summertime, and he's like, by the time I'm done with you, like you're gonna have enough knowledge to start your own business.
Sure enough, man, help out. Getting towards close to it.
Yeah,
getting close to that time. Mm-hmm. That's what's up. So, all right. So, I know you said that you got a lot of inspiration. Definitely, a lot of people when you're growing up has definitely helped you out, and people around like LaDon and the other gentleman, where you didn't make the cut, right, for selling that. So when you didn't make the cut, right, I know it's feeling like failure, right? And so how'd you end up overcoming, that failure, and what kind of things did you do to, I guess, move forward from that?
It was harsh, honestly. He was like, it's like, business is cutthroat, no emotion. So like I kind of in the back of my mind, like, I don't know if I could get enough clientele to like get this shop going. Like 3 months is not enough, especially if it's just me. But you try to believe in, you believe in yourself, and you try to aim high, shoot for the stars. And he at the third month he cut it off, and he was just like, "Hey man, I really respect you for coming out here, and doing your best. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just shut this down. I'm gonna sell this building, I'm selling this equipment,
everything."
Yeah. He's like, I'm not even gonna invest any more money in it because I don't want to lose. I'm gonna put this money into storage units. What you think? Go to storage unit business, and and he's like, don't let this. He was just like, don't let this get you down. Like, just keep going. He's like, you got something going on. Just keep going.
So yeah, even with the words of like, even it being cutthroat, he was like, "Hey, this is it." He's like, "Oh shit," and scared. He still kind of, I guess, gave some type of support at the end.
Yeah. He wasn't all just like evil with it.
You're right. Some people would do it, right?
I did try to buy some equipment, and he would not budge. The price. He would not budge with the price, and it was unreal. And I just didn't think he understood like some of his equipment was broken, and I had to fix it to get it to work, to even use it.
Oh, so you were like, "Yo, bro, like I got that shit working."
This, and that. I was just like, "Dang, man, like, come on, cut me a break." He's like, "Nope."
So it was cutthroat that way.
Yeah, he was cutthroat, man. You know what I'm saying?
So how'd you overcome that failure? Like, so he told you, you're fucking. He's like, "Hey, I'm selling everything. No, you can't have the equipment. I ain't budging."
Right.
Or you were like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. So now you're like walking out the store, I guess, and then you're like, "So what were you thinking? Like, what was like, what's next or something?"
Yeah, it was more like what's next? Like, I fucked up, but my thing is like, I realized all like throughout my life, like, not everything works out the way you want it to, and even the way like you see her plan out every day, but like there's no guarantee that everything you write down on that list to do that day is going to get done. So it was like coming to that realization, like I worked hard and I failed, but like this doesn't have to be the end for me, and like let's not get mentally stuck in this. And how can we find solutions? So it was like a mental back and forth, like in a way I didn't feel adequate enough, but I tried not to be like get too down in the dumps because I didn't want to get like stuck mentally, like get stuck in that loop, like, oh, I'm not good enough this, I'm not good enough this, I'm not gonna make it. It's like, no, I can make it. It's okay to fail. Like, that's how you learn. And you can turn fails into like a learning experience and find a solution out of it. Which in most cases, if you do that, you will find a solution and you can move forward. So,
yeah, I like that. Yeah, I do agree on that because, like, a lot of times people do get like that one failure in their life, and it's just like, fuck, it's just like, or like, the breakup or, something significant, which is, not to downplay anybody's, tragedy or whatever, something that happens, some trauma or whatever. But we have these experiences that could cause us to really break down in some ways, but you took it as an advantage, in a way, and you were like, I'm gonna overcome this. And I like you said, like, if you repeat yourself, continuously, like, oh, I'm a failure, I suck at this, but maybe you start to believe it, and
right.
As opposed to the other end, you can be like, shit, man, like I can, get through this, like you're saying, and so that's a helpful way, dude. That's what's up. So if out there, affirm that shit, right?
Affirmation, yeah, manifestation. So, it's not what I wanted, but that can't stop me from getting there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of power in that mentally. Push it.
Heck yeah. And there are other ways, like, I guess, like affirming yourself and like pushing yourself mentally that way to keep, going even through failure. Is there other things like maybe you escape and anything you do to kind of like chill out or just kind
video games? Who wants to play video games?
That's what's up. Heck yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your tagger name, right?
It's Kunan. CUNNON. I'm play Apex Legends right now. You know what I'm saying?
All right. There you go, yo.
I play with Valkyrie. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to game, let's go.
That's a way to escape.
You know what I'm saying? But no. That's one way to escape. But honestly, like, video games is fun. You know, it makes me mad and happy at the same time, but that doesn't that helps you escape. It doesn't help you deal with like the issues. Because when you're done playing the game, your problems are still there. It's really like I try to find ways to diagnose, self-diagnose as best as I can, like the inner, just like insecurities and things that I have, and and try to find an outlet, for self healing, whether that's talking with friends, whether that's with exercise, dieting.
Right, not extra fries, exercise.
Extra fries. Can I get a 32-ounce Mountain Dew, extra ice, no cup?
You want to supersize that?
Yeah, go ahead. Heck yeah, right? Exercise. You said eating, right? Did you say
dieting?
Dieting, yeah.
Because sometimes you get depressed and get like low energy, and kind of like what you eat can really like change how you feel.
Yeah, and like through your process has like I guess working out and the way you eat it's definitely changed. I guess
100%. Yeah, like I'm not like feeling like I'm 16 again per se, but I feel like I shaved off at least 3 or 4 years. And I had lower back issues too, so that was kind of getting me depressed because I was like in a couple of car accidents and I fell down some flights of stairs and I have like a herniated disc in my lower back. So like the pain from getting up and grinding and pressing shirts for hours was getting to me. So like conditioning your body, I really feel like health is just as important as money, or probably more important than the money. And like
the health as well, some people say, right?
Yeah, and health and I don't even remember.
My bad. Yeah, the health as well. That's important, like in the money is like.
Yeah, the money comes second. So like, it's the point of working so hard and you don't take care of yourself. By the time you get the money, you can't even enjoy it or spend it because you might just die because have a heart attack. It's like, well, what was the point of all this? You work so hard. Oh, it's self-love. Self-love.
What do you do for self-love?
Self-love. Everything I just mentioned.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And, every once in a blue moon, I try to go in the mirror and say, you know what? You're a handsome young man. You got this.
From yourself. Do you keep any like a journal or anything like that, or?
I try to. It's hard to be consistent with it. But when I have like really, really, really bad days, I'll pull it out and just write some stuff down.
Have you ever gone back and you're like, what the fuck was going on there? Or you just like jot it down and forget about it?
I jot it down and forget about it. I actually don't. I think the last time I looked at my journal was like, was it July? Should be like January.
Heck yeah.
So I know people say journal a lot. I'm not like a big journal person. I try to, but like I don't know, schedule's so busy. Maybe
doing that thing.
Yeah, like
you'd rather draw it out or something like that. Huh?
Yeah. So, or I feel like my friends can be the journal.
Hey, yeah.
When I vent, because like sometimes I can call them, like, just have it, man. Like just do it. Just like, hey, I did all this work, you didn't pay me no money, or I went on this date, this girl ghosted me. She
didn't even show up.
Like 2 minutes, just canceled. Like 2 minutes before you're supposed to be here. Like
finding that social support then too, friends and family, or whoever else that you can talk to. That's a big key. Heck yeah, man. And so like moving on, like I guess we talked about did we talk about some of your influences that you have in the community? Like has there been anybody like I know you mentioned like maybe some of the mentors and some guidance, but anybody out there that really is like maybe someone that influenced you in kind of this way towards like the screen printing, I guess, or like the graphic design, like any like someone who inspired you going that way? Or did you always feel? I guess the manga maybe.
The manga,
The manga. What did I say?
Yeah, manga.
Manga.
Make America great again. We read this manga.
So, right. So I guess did you find like I know you said you started off with reading that, like did that like really what inspired you, I guess, to kind of get into that the art scene and stuff?
Yeah. I won't say it's a particular person. It always sounds like probably really nerdy, but it really was anime. It's manga. Like Dragon Ball Z was the first anime I ever watched. Not Dragon Ball before. But Dragon Ball Z came on. What was it called? Cartoon Network had this thing.
Toonami,
Yeah, come on, Toonami. Had like Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, some other weird shows.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. That was more Adult Swim.
Yeah, that was actually.
Yeah, because that was like rated M for mature. Or not. That's a video game. But yeah, it was,
That's what's up. So not really a person, but mostly like what you were bringing in, like
cartoons. Yeah.
cartoons.
Dragon Ball Z was just all about like Goku and Vegeta were like underdogs, and it amazed me like no matter what like Goku went through, no matter how beat down he got, he always got up and found a way.
He sure fucking did.
and when he had nothing left, he found a way to give more, and that was crazy because like when I was a kid. I was like bullied a lot because I had a really large overbite, and like my kind of grill was like shifted to the right, so my teeth weren't in the center of my mouth. I have braces, but I didn't wear my retainers. So I have a gap.
That's all right. Something like
You know what
that.
I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I got picked on a lot, and I feel like that contributed to why I was introverted. Because I would go to school and get made fun of. Every time I tried to open my mouth, people saw my teeth, laugh, bust jokes. It sucked. And I came home. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have like the healthiest like environment at home. Like my parents argue a lot, curse, fight, fuss, and so I got a lot of chaos in the house. So really, the only way to get away was to watch anime, and I'll just draw anime characters.
Heck yes.
Like that was it. And then video games too. Halo, Master Chief, crazy.
Right.
But that was my get out card, you know. And I idealized, cartoon characters because of what they, just what they believed in, what they stood for.
That's what's up, yeah.
Yeah, Goku. I mean, Goku don't give a crap about his family, but he just like loved to fight so much. His man's like a crack addict. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I gotta fucking fight someone else. Try
Right.
to take over this world. Do you not know?
Vegeta was more like he found like family, was important. What kept him going, not just Saiyan pride, but his family. So
Ironically, right? Like it's pretty ironic that comes out, right? Because like Goku's supposed to be like, I guess the main character, he's like, oh, family, but it ended up being Vegeta, and it seemed like Vegeta was the one that was more like I'm the Prince of all Saiyans, like that. But it was actually backwards, and he was just like more towards his family, towards the end, especially. That's badass though, man. Like especially like taking something that could have been like fucking negative in your life, like, and it could have maybe brought out even more pain, but you use that as a maybe a good anchor or something to keep you afloat, and you dove into your work, man, and here you are a couple years later, and making a living off this shit. So that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like, laugh at him now, fuckers. Nah, just playing. It's about growth and development, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Just keep it moving,
So with all that, like, how would you? I guess you're pretty heavy in the art community and everything, and everything that you've been through and how you progressed, and you definitely seen a lot of changes. in that community. So what do you think about the community now? Like, how do you think that has it changed in a, in a way that you like, maybe don't like, or maybe feel like some things need to be a little bit different? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, when you say community, do you mean like the community, like I guess in school, it's a smaller world. When you get out there, adulting, you get into like a new crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and you meet new people with different your perspective bubble pops. So I could say the community that I've grown to work with,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Some of these motherfuckers is crazy. Some of these motherfuckers crazy, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I mean, I love what I do. I'm passionate. People give me headaches. Some people are fun. You know, but it's just amazing, like how many, how needed something like a T-shirt is. You know what I'm saying? You never realize how important that is, how it's on industry. It's like it's an industry that's worth billions of dollars, makes billions of dollars revenue a year. I think it's like more than what the NBA revenue generates.
Should I believe it? Because they're wearing T-shirts. It's like, hey, who does that? I'm wearing a T-shirt right now.
Everyone needs T-shirts. Your mom, your uncle, charities, movie sets, restaurants. I mean, churches. You name it. Like everyone needs shirts. So like that's not going anywhere. You don't see the mass majority of human beings walking around shirtless.
Yeah.
So,
Need shirt and some cool ass shit on it too. Sometimes.
Right. So going into that community and seeing the demand for it, and it's been a blessing. I've had opportunities to work with some really great people, and I still have more opportunities to come. I don't feel like I've peaked yet. I'm still growing, still baby steps.
Nice. And so, how do you even seek out some of these opportunities? Like even like I guess.
Right now, it's still right now it's word of mouth. I don't do too much promotion, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
People come to me through word of mouth and through just the good word of the Bible. Now. The print Bible.
The print Bible.
Open up the Google reviews.
Right, that's what's up. Hey.
Instagram. Now I don't post too much on my social media.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if I did, I couldn't handle it because that's where I got. Honestly, that's where I started. Like Instagram was like crazy. I made a crap ton of money off of just Instagram. Start posting on my story, posting on my main page.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've created like a Google account, as far as like a Google business account,
Mm-hmm.
I actually get people that find me through Google and just pop up at the shop. They might call me like, and I'll do work for them, and they tell a friend, that tells a friend, and I got Instagram. People still hit me up, not as much. Honestly, I couldn't handle it if they did.
So you're kind of glad that you're like, I'm going a different route through Google instead of the Instagram route.
Yeah. Because it's not as I'm not like I guess the information travels faster like via Instagram. People who are have quicker access to get to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I plan to like promote, but I'm a one-man octopus army. And
You've got multiple arms on a lot of different things that your business, which a lot of small, business owners definitely do. Huh?
Yeah. So my goal was like to create the infrastructure, create the foundation. It's not perfect, right now. Like I could say, my business is like a 2012 used Toyota.
He's like, nah.
Corolla.
2012. Better than that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it rides well.
Hey, but Toyotas like last long.
You know what I'm saying? It lasts long. You get to A and B.
Yeah.
And right now I'm trying to, get people in my Toyota to drive and work on certain maintenance. It's a reference to my business.
So,
I'm trying to create a well-oiled machine and start, freeing up my time to focus on other things that need improvement, like my website or just online marketing, and let someone take care of like the printing, the hard labor and stuff like that. Like I built a place for someone to come and do that. Now I'm in a position to do that. Now I got someone there, and I can focus on communicating with people and being here.
Yeah, right. It's like take the opportunity to do this stuff.
The goal is to build the trap, step out of the trap, and let other people run it, and just how can I say this? I heard this quote from that Steve Jobs movie. He said, I want to conduct the orchestra. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the conductor.
So you're conducting the whole thing.
Correct. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Ultimate goal.
That's what's up.
Everyone plays different instruments, and we get this beautiful,
masterpiece at the end.
With the crescendo.
Standing ovation.
Standing ovation.
Like, yeah, it seems like everything's been going good, man. It sounds like you definitely have grown since being at your friend's, upstairs in the attic or something like that.
Attic was an apartment.
Having $100, in your pocket. That's all you had into the business, and now like you've grown huge. Have your own shop. Have somebody working for you, which is huge in the growth and development. So, I guess if you were to tell someone, or tell your younger self, or tell someone who's just starting off, because you definitely developed across like 6-7 years progress, and you grew. You definitely didn't degress or fucking die, right? Die in the business, yeah. So you made it, and so what would you tell, like, I guess your younger self, or what would you tell someone who's like aspiring to, go into the print or the 3D graphic designs and all that?
I would say, number one, have patience with yourself and with people around you. It sounds cliche as hell, but Rome wasn't good every day. You're not.
Yeah.
And YouTube University is great, but there are limitations. And don't be afraid to pay for information to progress. It will get to the point where Google is just not it. And either you have to go make connections or you have to pay. Whether that's taking a course, a class, knowledge, don't be afraid to invest in yourself, invest in that knowledge to improve. Also, don't be afraid to fail. Like, when I was younger, I thought, if you failed at something, you were good, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Through anime.
Right?
Through Dragon Ball Z.
He didn't give up.
No matter how hard he failed, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like all this time I've been giving up as a kid, like, I want to apply myself like Goku or Vegeta, and see where that takes me. So don't be afraid to fail. Like I stated earlier in this lesson, take your L, you know what I'm saying? Punch your punches, go home, scream in your pillow, whatever you gotta do. Go cry. You gotta cry, like crying's okay, like dudes are not supposed to cry. That's bullshit, man. Like we're emotional beings.
We're human.
We're human, you know what I'm saying? It's all right, and forgive yourself, and just don't get too stuck in that moment of failure, and don't let that stop you from pushing forward, because that flower can still grow out that concrete. There are probably, tons of microbial bacteria that are surviving on Mars right now that NASA's not telling us about. They're fucking lying. You know what I'm saying?
We know.
We know. Aliens exist, but you know what I'm saying?
No, heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Definitely I've seen the growth, throughout time, 6-7 years, and definitely, heard a lot of different changes and a lot of different obstacles you overcame, and some of the adversity you faced definitely made you, who you are today. So I think that message could help out not only, people starting off, but even people who are still in the journey, right? Or maybe have failed just recently. I think they could take that into consideration. So that's a great message. here with Mr. Clinton Banks again.
Yes,
Again, it was a pleasure talking to Mr. Clinton Banks. Yeah. Shout out anything that you working on lately, like some projects or something like that, or somewhere where they can find you. Shout out. I know you said Society Inc. right on Instagram
Society
and
Inc. underscore
right
Society Inc. with a K.
with a K.
You find me on Instagram.
And Google that, right? And then
Right.
you also worked on the stuff Genuine Human, right?
Yeah, so I have a brand called Genuine Human, and it's just a way to express kind of like my story and like a creative outlet. And there are family and friends that want to support me, and not everyone's trying to put in a 30-piece T-shirt order at Society Inc. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a way they can support, it's a creative brand. Why not? I don't need a GoFundMe. This is my GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah.
Want to help a player, grow and support. So Genuine Human is that outlet for me. It's my GoFundMe. It's my it's an artistic expression. It's a culmination of everything I've been through, and kind of like
Heck yeah. Well, I'm glad I got to talk to this Genuine Human, Mr. Clinton Banks again. It was a pleasure talking to you, man, and definitely, until next time, right? So thank you guys for listening, tuning in, and, I hope you guys learned something throughout his growth and development and progress in his business.